I'm going to quote our previous CEO, Charles Phillips. He would often say that Infor is the largest ERP company you've never heard of. And the reality of the things, if you go to a hospital, right? I don't know if you notice on some of the emergency rooms, if you look behind the screens, this is actually Infor-run products.
Just get some basics. Hey, I'm Martin. I develop AI strategy with AWS software partners.
Hello, I'm Tanya Gonzalez, and I'm in charge of our product management for industry cloud platforms specializing in our AI technology.
Hello, I'm Natalia Ptaszek, and I am product director responsible for GenAI platform.
Today, we're in beautiful Orlando, Florida, where we're attending TechX. It's a 2-day immersion event. We meet with builders that are building on the Infor OS platform. Thank you both for coming down and meeting with me. Excited to have you. So maybe just to level set, to those who are not familiar with Infor, could you maybe give me like a quick TLDR on what is Infor, what is Cloud Suite, and where does AI fit into the whole picture?
Infor grew by acquiring a lot of applications, and so some of the applications are foundational to the ERPs themselves, such as, for example, Infor LN has been revolutionary, really ERP that's right there and around. We have M3s, we have Cloud Suite, Industrial Cloud Suite distribution, so we really have a broad spectrum of industry-wide solutions and those ERPs, and probably some of the people ask, why would you invest in so many different ERPs? But the reality of the things is that each of the industry has certain uniqueness to it, and we cannot assume that all, even when we talk about the terminology of things as the processes, they use the same thing. And so we have intentionally invested into the industry-specific ERPs so that we could build those industry-specific solutions. And so building on top of it, when we say Cloud Suite, it's not just one ERP, it's usually a combination of the products working better together. It is, for example, in our services world, we use a lot of FSM. On top of it, we have a human capital intelligence, we have a workforce management, and all of this encapsulated with the foundation of what we used to call Infor OS, or our industry cloud platform. They have data management capabilities, that have artificial intelligence capabilities. And since you asked about AI, so kind of to zoom into it, we are building those industry-specific agents that are leveraging on all of those capabilities that we have been building as a part of our Cloud Suite, so ERP or the technology solutions over the last 20 years to bring this forward to our customer base.
Gotcha. And I noticed AI has been kind of the name of the game almost at every single point. And you both presented. Do you mind maybe diving a little bit deep on what did you share with the crowd today?
Yeah, so my session was about Infor AI vision as such. And so I really tried to touch on the different aspects of AI, because when people think about AI, it's very natural nowadays to think about Gen AI. And Gen AI is really one of the pieces onto the entirety of AI puzzles. There are other components of AI that have been around that includes machine learning, that includes optimization, that includes graph technologies. And so to us, we're talking about AI as a whole and how we are seeing this Gen AI coming into the picture, being wonderful for the conversational, right? These triggers, the starters, but behind the scenes using other AI technologies to provide you more predictive, more prescriptive answers. And also we're looking to do cognitive intelligence. So not necessarily tell me what I need to do, but actually finding some of those insights in the data that I wouldn't have thought of otherwise. But because our AI technology has sleepless 24/7, almost like Natalia, but they could run all of those operations and bring those insights to you that you wouldn't have had, time, brain power, capacity to analyze otherwise.
So with my sessions, we deep dive into the intelligent automation. So there we talk about the use of the industry AIs, which could streamline those processes, so that you can actually focus on the more value-added tasks instead of doing everything manually. So right now we are changing the way we are using our systems. And this is where we actually deep dive into during my sessions. So as I said, instead of going and doing everything within the system in a manual fashion, we right now can use the natural language. So prompting the GenAI assistant to do the work for us.
One of the things that I would love to learn from you, I know you both presented, had individual sessions. What are some of the interesting conversations that you've had with customers that approached you before or after your sessions?
So they wanted to learn how to actually get started with the AI agents, how to create them within our platform. And the first thing which we are highlighting to them is that they don't need to have really technical background. Actually, what we care more is the functional background, because when you are defining the agents, you are focusing around the use cases they are there to support you with, and you need to explain it in a plain English. So we can say that actually English it's a new coding language.
Interesting.
And I think the event being so accessible to our customers, I was having our data security session. And so some of the questions that people ask is like, well, this is a good reminders. If we are to really open up the AI floodgates, having the data to your point, and making sure that we have all of those security mechanisms is extremely important, so that now we build this foundation before tomorrow we can open up. And so just nice to have conversations with the customers as a reminders of the functionalities that we might have released actually a year back, but now they're really putting it to action and applying it.
Amazing. Yeah, that's exciting. You always learn something from talking to customers. They have the best ideas.
Absolutely.
Okay, so let's shift gears a little bit. Infor and AWS have been partners for a long time. Could you tell me what that looks like, what that partnership looks like to you?
Yeah, absolutely. And we could not be more proud partners together with AWS in this journey. You invest a lot of the time and effort in the technology side of things. We pick up a lot of the innovation and technologies that you're doing, but we are applying it for our industries, for our customers. For example, when we started our journey with Infor AI, we leveraged a lot of SageMaker capabilities. For example, you built deep AI algorithms. So what we did, we adopted the deep AI algorithm, but then on top of it, with our data scientists, we have leveraged some additional capabilities to bring the forecasting to each of our industries and our customers. As we are moving on this journey, and Natalia can speak a little bit more, right? Bedrock, and so those capabilities that are coming. So we at Infor not necessarily invest in technologies for technology's sake. We are working very closely with you to leverage a lot of the R&D and the innovation and the brain power behind it, and we are applying it for our customers to make their day-to-day lives easier that are really industry specific.
Makes sense. You don't want to reinvent the wheel and build the same thing over and over.
No, our intention is not to reinvent the wheel, right? Indeed, where we could avoid replication of efforts, that's exactly what we are going through. You're very strong in technology. We leverage your technology. We'll build on top of your technology for our industry customer.
Gotcha. And Natalia, me and you spoke earlier at your session about the different models that you're using. Could you maybe speak a little bit about what role does Bedrock play into the services that you support and build?
So as part of Infor GenAI services, we are not training our own large language models. Like we would like to leverage something which was already trained. And we are doing that by leveraging the AWS Bedrock service, which is providing us with a direct access to different set of the large language models, including the LLMs coming from Anthropic, so the cloud models, but also your native LLMs.
And I assume as models get bigger and better and more complex, they'll be able to tackle even more complex problems that we haven't been able to see before.
Yeah, and this is what we like with cooperating with AWS, because you really listen to our problems. You really listen what the problems are from our customer side. And you are able to respond to that, just importing different items as part of your roadmap.
One interesting thing that I saw at the keynote, and I believe it was at your presentation as well, you have all these different AI agents, industry AI agents. There's a project agent, project management agent, supply agent, customer service agent. And they're not just there to answer questions, they're really there to even collaborate with other agents and invoke tools. Could you maybe talk a little bit more about the human agent collaboration that average Infor user will have access to that they didn't have before?
So they can use the GenAI assistant and invoke those agents, first of all, using the natural language. So the way they would talk with the other colleague. That's the first, let's say, trigger of those agents. But the agents are there to actually help you out to do your job better and faster. So instead of you thinking which exact agent you need, we have the orchestrator, the supervisor agent, which would be able to understand your intent and then find those specific agents which needs to be involved. And underneath that, it would be able to use the tools which are provided through those agents. For instance, RPA for the automation, Ion for integration, in order to support you with the final outcome of your query.
AI is popular, but I feel like it wouldn't be possible without high quality data. I know in your presentation you mentioned there's the data collections tab that exists in the platform there. What role does data play in how you approach building, more generative AI capabilities, whether it's, embedded experiences or industry AI agents?
Yeah, absolutely. I think whenever we talk about AI, data goes hand in hand. In fact, the first question that we start asking our customers before, investing out of the capabilities, what are your data sources? Where does it live, right? So a lot of information. Luckily, we have all of this access to our cloud suite ERP data systems. But oftentimes, customers have data that lives elsewhere. And so for us to make sure that we could bring all of this information together to help them drive those decisions. Because on one side, it's wonderful we have those LLMs trained, but you need to have it in the context of the right data that you have, of the right process that you have. And on top of it, as you're looking to actually have more of a machine learning capabilities, optimization capabilities, they all leverage on the data that comes. And so whenever we start training the machine learning models that live within the customer tenant, this is where having the core data is the key. Having clean data, we have actually acquired recently one of the capabilities of the data mesh to come into a part of our data platform to help us having a lot more comprehensive suite of data management solutions, and we could use the right tool for the right use case.
Of course, that's amazing. I mean, high quality data is just night and day with how not just LLMs, but even traditional ML algorithms work. That's really incredible to hear. So we touched on data quite a bit. One of the other things that I noticed in your presentations, and it was kind of the theme of today, was MCP. Having high quality data is great. How those machine learning models and large language models ingest that data is also kind of important. Could you maybe touch a little bit about how does MCP fit into your strategy, into your overall architecture?
So MCP is allowing us to connect to those different applications for them to expose the data, the tools, through the standardized way, so that it's very, let's say, understandable by the AI systems such as the Gen AI assistant. Usually the MCPs are also the wrappers around the, for instance, APIs or the query towards the database. But as said, MCP is the standardized way we can talk with the AI systems leveraging the large language models.
I see. So you basically have MCP servers that wrap your existing APIs, but to the customer, they don't have to really think about, is it using MCP under the hood? Have you abstracted, I guess, all of that to the...
Exactly. It's not visible. Yeah. Like we would like to put it very simple for our end users, that actually from the user experience perspective, they don't know anything about MCPs. What they care about are the tools which are powering up the agents.
Okay, that's awesome. So, before we wrap up, I kind of want to ask, AI field is evolving really, really quickly. As it evolves, how do you see Infor's products evolve alongside with it? What's new? What's next? What's something that you could share that's coming up that'll get everyone excited?
Well, obviously, we'll continue leveraging on our partnerships. That's very important to us and the core success of what we are doing. Having this said, I think us looking into the industry and keep on the industry-specific lens and the focus and applying AI so that we don't invest as much time and effort to build all of the different screens. When we talk to some of our end users, the reality of the things, to looking at some of the adoption metrics, we don't want to invest too much time in building those screens, but we rather want to be forthcoming to our customers and really leveraging on those cognitive analytics and insights to surface to their face. And this is where we see a lot of future of adaptive UX that goes in. We also see a lot more implementations that we are doing nowadays. Instead of configuring all of those different screens, really configuring the entirety of the experience and really lowering down on all of those services implementations. So to us, the future is really having this immersive experience with your assistant by your side, but not necessarily, time and effort spent in the screens, but actually helping you to drive those actions.
That's exciting. Wow. Thank you both for coming. I appreciate your time. I learned a lot. I'm excited to see what's in store for Infor and beyond.
Thank you so much.